Right, so what we've been doing tonight, apart from making an absolute mess, is I had about 10 or 12, maybe 14 of these poles, sections of pipe. I've got chrome ones and slightly bigger diameter silver ones, and I think they're aluminium because of the weight, and they slot inside each other. They've been in the shed for a while, used for various projects. Made a mast out of some for an aerial antenna, and I've made a bracket out of some for the housing of my solar panel on my shed. And these were all about 1 metre and a bit long, about 1 metre, never really measured them. All different lengths, just above or just below 1 metre, because they did originally, they were one of these collapsible, temporary, clove hanging things. But it spent the best part of its life just in the shed, and never really used for the purpose it was designed for. So I've been cutting them all down now tonight into sections to fit into my bug out bag. With the tarp I use, you'll see in my other videos, when I set it up I use a tree or fence post I've used in the past, because I don't carry a walking stick and I don't carry poles. But I just thought, what if I need a pole one day and I haven't got a tree available to hang the tarp up against. So the past few days I've been meaning to do this, finally got around to it, is I cut all these pipes, or sections of pole, into I think 14-inch lengths. Again, they're all the same size. And I've taped up the end. I've filed them after hacksawing them. I filed them just to get rid of the sharp bits, and then stretched electrical tape with a couple of millimeters overlap, so it sort of gives it a nice round finish. Not for weatherproofing, but mainly for the safety value. These are now blunt. I've got all the sharp bits off of the file, but a bit safer now. So all the 4 of these, not including the pen, fit nicely in my bag. And the ones that were weren't cut, they're rounded off by a machine in the factory when they're built. But the ones I've hacksawed, obviously, I don't want them in time wearing away at the bag. So that's another good reason for them being taped up. So all 4 of them fit in there nicely. Again, as I said, I think there were 14-inch sections. And if I can, because I'm just literally winging this, doing it as I go. That's the bottom one, middle section, well, bottom middle. This one I've got for the top, as I'm going to modify it slightly more because it's got an eye, so I can hook a bungee through that, connected to the tarp. And there's the last pole, that one. Let's try and do this so you can see. Oh look, loads of whitewashing. Even with the overlap of the tape on the sections, they fit in nicely. And top one on there. And now you'll see the microwave and the fish. And that's just over 4 foot tall, I think. Look that way. Yeah, that's going to be my new tarp pole. It comes up above my waist, sort of near my bottom ribs, which is roughly where I normally like having my tarp. When I set it up, I aim for sort of my bottom ribs in height. Right, now, give it a bit of a measurement, see how long it is in total. We've got 4 sections of 14-inch. And I was looking at least 4 foot in height for my my tarp. And there's 4 foot, 1, 2, 2.5 inches. So yeah, 4 foot, 4 foot 2.5. And yes, I can buy collapsible poles. I can buy walking sticks that do the job. Baby wipes are a great bit of kit because I'm going to need them to get all these fragments of metal that have been hacksawed in the poles. Yeah, I can buy a pole and stuff, but the idea is I want something to fit in here. And the collapsible poles I've seen so far, they've all been, I think it's 17 inches, which is 2 or 3 inches bigger than my bag. And I wanted something that fit in my bag. I don't want anything modded on the side. I like my kit in my bag, not hanging out, snagging on stuff. Walking poles are fantastic. There are a lot of fantastic bits of kit out there, but I'm all in favour for, you can call it recycling, but you know, use what's available. And the good thing about this is I can take one section off if I don't want the top of my tarp 4 foot tall. I really should get a tripod. And then I can have it, yeah, 3 foot 2 inches. If you know it's getting a bit windy or the rain picks up, I can lower my tarp, drop it down a section, so I can lose a foot. I can have it 4 foot 2 or 3 foot 2, and I've had to pull all the kit out of my bag to get to. What have I used tonight out of my bag? I've used that out the bug out bag. I've used that out the bug out bag. And then I'm going to be using them to clean up. So yeah, I want a nice few little sections. There's no weight at all to these. These are so light and very strong. And yet they double up as a bit of a weapon, if necessary. You know, those foxes and badgers and that, you know, them birds in the trees, wildlife in the UK gets very, oh, you got to watch out for those little animals. Doosh, doosh, doosh. No, just kidding. Yeah, as you can see, they fit up, don't take up any room, well, hardly any room. And they're now rounded edges, so they're not going to wear and tear my bag. And if I do want to attach them to the, say, the bottom of my bag, they're not going to stick out a great deal. Sort of 2 or 3 inches either side. Bungee them on, use the straps, slot them in the molly somewhere. But there we go. I wanted a pole for my tarp. I've been looking around in the shops at different collapsible poles, different walking sticks. They do a 3-section stick that would have been perfect, but I think it was still just a couple of inches too long, and I didn't really want to buy a walking stick if I wasn't going to use it. It would have just been used as a tent pole. So I've cut up 4 sections of pipe, pole or whatever they're called, and made myself like a little pole for my my tarp. And again, to fit it into the eye of the tarp, I could just drop a tent peg for the eye and then bungee that down. Ideally, it will look something like this. This being the tiny version. I'm gonna have the tarp attached to it here, going off that way, and that'll be the front left of the pole, the front right, and that hanging down. That's it. We'll do an update in a couple of days when I get a chance to go out and set it up and show you it all working. For now, again, a tripod would be handy. Fits in the bag nicely.